My name is Jeff Kreiner. I'm a 42-year-old guy, father of three. I have a wonderful companion in my life that is the mother of my children. And I've led a pretty normal life up until recently. I've been a CDL driver for a little over 20 years now. And I've always taken care of my family with hard work. Now, recently, I started a new job. I'm not going to name where I work, and they do an insurance deal where it's an independent insurance company that they go through. We pay so much, and then the company pays so much as well. Well, if I didn't take the insurance through here, they would have given me an extra $40 a week on my check, which would have been okay, but I would have gotten my own insurance. Now, I was a Teamster for a little over 10 years, and I didn't pay anything for my insurance. It was included with my union dues. And it was a nice plan, a 90-10 plan, $500 family deductible, no co-pays, 99-cent prescriptions. It was a good insurance plan. We didn't pay anything out of pocket for it. Well, since Obamacare went into effect and most of the legislation is now on the books, the job that I'm currently at is charging me $1,600 a month. Now, I lived in a 2,600 square foot Victorian home that had a $1,000 mortgage on it. And I thought that was a lot, because I make about 55 or 60,000 a year. My wife works. She's making another 35 or so a year. She works almost full time. So we do okay combined. House is paid for. We don't have a mortgage anymore. But the $1,600 a month is crippling. And even more so, it's robbery. I'm being robbed every 2 weeks on my paycheck. Now, the last check, gross, was $2,300. Okay, I had a day off in there through the holiday. We didn't get paid for it, but nonetheless, $2,300. I took home $1,099 out of $2,300. Before that, it was $3,000 gross, and I took $1,700 home. Between the federal government, the state and local government, and now the insurance companies, they are taking half of my paycheck. That's off the top. That isn't including my real estate taxes. Everything that I buy has got a tax onto it. If you buy cigarettes or alcohol, they're taxed to the hilt. They are taxing the middle class into oblivion. And now the insurance companies have got in on the mix, and they're making all their money. I'd like to draw a little timeline for you, just in case you haven't been paying attention or if you're not old enough to remember. 2001, September 11th, the Twin Towers were attacked. Shortly after that attack, we instituted the Patriot Act, which, if you were to read the Patriot Act, you see that the TSA came out of that, the gropers at the airlines. The Homeland Security came out of that, and the loss of our Fourth Amendment rights to illegal searches and seizures. They can literally kick in my door, arrest me, hold me indefinitely without charges, all under the umbrella that they could drum up anything, say that, I have some sort of ties to terrorist activities. That's not the worst part. The gas prices and oil prices spiked shortly after 9/11 as well. They went from, I think it was about $1.49 a gallon that we were paying. People saw $5 a gallon. I know back in Chicago, we were in the fours for quite some time. Not only that, but all of the trucking companies got hit real hard because obviously they rely on diesel fuel, and that skyrocketed as well. A lot of fuel surcharges got added on to incoming goods that are shipped, store to store, the whole bit. So it raised food prices, it raised gas prices, and I think it was a design in hopes to break the middle class, to break them down, to make people dependent. Well, I think they underestimated us a little bit because we were able to fight through that and continue to be somewhat prosper. Shortly after that, when that didn't work, you had the housing bubble burst. And I know a lot of people lost all of the equity in their home, if not all, a lot. And in some cases, people were completely underwater altogether. They owed more than the house was worth. That still didn't break our backs. The middle class still just tightened up their belt string or their belt loop and continued to push forward. And you had the bank bailouts, Wall Street bailout, the car bailouts. GM just refused to even pay it back as a double slap in our face. You know, that's our money. That's my money. That's where all that money is going from that's missing out of my check and your check. You know, this may not affect you yet, but next year when the rest of the Obamacare Affordable Health Care Act goes into effect, a whole lot more people are going to be affected by this type of thing. And I'm kind of leading you down this path for a reason, is because I think this has to be by design. Because after your housing crisis and after they bailed out all their buddies and lobbyists, you had your quantitative easing 1, 2, and 3. Another waste of trillions of dollars. You had the stimulus package that came out. That was more than $1 trillion. They lose $1 trillion or more dollars every year. Admittedly, the government just doesn't know where it went. This is our money that I work my ass off for, and I'm sure you do too. And I'm tired of them robbing my paycheck. I am tired of them robbing my future, my kids' future. What is it going to look like when, you know, my 12-year-old is 35? What kind of life is she going to have? But all of that being said, they still couldn't break us. Even after all of that money has been stolen from us, given away, they jacked up the fuel prices, jacked up food prices. It wasn't enough to break us still. And then Obamacare happens. And now a guy like me has a $1,600 a month payment. I don't have a mortgage, and I got 3 kids. I can't afford to pay $1,600 a month for insurance, especially considering that I wasn't paying anything before. $32 a month for whatever my union dues came out to me. I can't afford it, and you can't afford not to have it. So what do? Go to the marketplace? The marketplace has been destroyed because of Obamacare as well. You're getting shit insurance at exorbitant prices. And I guess my question to everybody is, when does this stop? When do we put an end to this? And I say we because we're the only ones that can do it. You know, we are in charge of our politicians. We're doing a pretty shit job at keeping after them, but we're still the ones that are in charge here. I don't know if this video is going to be seen by 5 people or 5 million people. But I felt like if I don't do something, try something, then I'm not doing my part. The United States of America can be a fantastic place to live, to prosper, to have an American dream. But that American dream has been taken from a lot of us. And when you're just outright robbing people of their hard work, their labor, their efforts, their ideas, eventually something has to give. And this is my breaking point. This is my over-the-top moment where I don't know where else to look except for my brothers and sisters that are out there in the United States. I don't care if you're black or white. I don't care if you're Latino or Asian. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat. I don't care if you like Trump or Hillary, because none of that matters. None of it. The only thing that matters is we the people. We are the power. We have all of the control. We have allowed our politicians to take that control from us, to dictate precedent on us, to rob us blind. And I say today, that ends. That stops right now. because we have the power to do that. That may sound crazy to some people out there, but it's true. I say today we have a 3-word phrase that we start that says no more money. No more money to the federal government. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it because they don't know how to manage our money. We are $20 trillion in debt. And we're adding billions of debt to that every day. It is unsustainable. We cannot continue on like this. At some point, something breaks. Something has to give. Something collapses. And if we don't do something about this, that's exactly what's going to happen. So I am asking your help today. Everyone. All of you. Because we're all in this together. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you believe in Muhammad. I don't care if you believe in Jesus. It doesn't matter to me one bit. Because that's all a distraction. It's a distraction to keep people fighting. To keep them separated from one another. To not talk to your neighbors. To not talk to the people down the street. They want us all digitalized on these things here. Talking to people this way. So that you don't have that human contact, because if they can divide and conquer us, then that's exactly what they're going to do. And so far it's worked to perfection. You see Black Lives Matter protesting at Trump rallies. You see gays fighting for their rights. You're supposed to hate gays. You're supposed to hate blacks. Blacks are supposed to hate whites. Latinos are supposed to hate whites. Everybody's supposed to be hating everyone. For what reason? I don't hate anybody. None of those people have done anything to me. But I tell you what, the federal government and the insurance companies are screwing me pretty damn bad. Them I can say I might hate. You robbed me, you robbed my family. Yeah, I think I can learn to hate you pretty quick. But you know what? The black guy that they're telling me that I'm supposed to hate, he's not robbing me. Okay? The gay man that I'm supposed to hate, he's not robbing me. The federal government is robbing me. The state and local government is robbing me. The insurance companies are robbing me. And they're robbing you too. And if you're not affected yet, you will be. It's only a matter of time. Like I said, once January rolls around, the second leg of Obamacare goes into effect. And more destruction of our insurance and healthcare system is gonna happen. So I'm making this video. I don't have high expectations. I'm just some clown that drives a truck. But I love this country. And I love the people that are in this country. You're on my team and I'm on your team, no matter what. I don't hate you. I don't hate any one of you. I need you very badly. I need as many people to stand up for themselves, for their neighbors, for their kids, for their parents, just for the American people in general. Because we are the power. They can ignore this video. They can ignore my voice all day long. They can ignore 1,000 of us. They can ignore 10,000 of us. But once you start getting into the millions, they're not going to be able to ignore us anymore. It's not about if Donald Trump wins the election. It's not about if Hillary Clinton wins the election. They're figureheads in a lot of ways. I don't know if we can trust Trump. He's out there. I like some of the things that he says. We do have terrible trade deals. We do have rampant corruption throughout our entire system in the federal government. But I don't know if I could trust him either. Who is Donald Trump? I know I can't trust Hillary. Hell, half of her campaign is being funded by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has come out and admitted that they funded 10 of the 15 terrorists on 9/11. Did we attack Saudi Arabia? No. We attacked Iraq. Because of the weapons of mass destruction, which proved to be all a big lie. I don't know what else to do. I don't know where else to turn. But something has to give. And today is that day. Today is that day that we have to say no more money. The federal government doesn't deserve it. We don't have to give it to them. In fact, before the Federal Reserve Act in 1913, federal income tax didn't even exist. It's when Woodrow Wilson instituted the Federal Reserve Act that brought the Federal Reserve in to start printing our money, is when the federal income tax was attached to it as well. And Thomas Jefferson was very proud of the fact that he could balance our budget off of tariffs, incoming goods, taxation on incoming goods to this country. Something that was done away with a long time ago. Ronald Reagan helped that process during his administration as well. And no one's gone back and fixed it. In fact, we've doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on it. Between NAFTA and the Clinton Foundation, we have a trade deficit with China just last year alone, $896 billion. Another $58 billion with Mexico and another $28 billion with Canada. That needs to be fixed. But we have to take things one step at a time. And I think our very first step is to say no more money. You're not taking our money anymore. That's all there's to it. Like I said, they can fluff me off. They can ignore me altogether. But if we get 40, 50, 60, 100 million people to say no more money, they can't ignore that. They need to balance themselves